Hey Johnny, hey Kelly, my name is Matty K, and I'm gonna answer some questions for you guys so you get to know me a little better and get a feel for what I can offer you guys and what we can get into. Describe myself. I would say I am an all-American reject. I say that because I've spent the last few years of my life traveling around on cruise ships, performing on Carnival Cruise Line, Norwegian Cruise Line. I worked for Dolly Parton, did a dinner theater for her. I did Nickelodeon tours with Norwegian Cruise Line doing Slam Time Live, stuff like that. Lots of touring. I love the tour life. It's sort of my way of living, and I say that because even as I was growing up, I grew up as an Air Force brat. My dad was in the Air Force, and so every 6 months, every year, we were always off to a new exotic destination, and I think that sort of stuck with me as I grew up. So now I've got the travel bug, so I love being on the road. Am I in school? I'm not in school, but I am a teacher of sorts. I teach ballet, I teach gymnastics. I'm definitely a teacher at heart. I say that because I joined this company called the Young Americans back in 2009 when I graduated high school. They were an international music outreach group. They still are. In fact, they're based out in California, and I did a lot of singing and dancing and teaching with them, and I think that really filled my heart up, learning that I had something to give to the next generation, or maybe that I could help somebody out or lead them towards music somehow. How long have you been singing? Well, I actually started singing when I met that very same group. When I was a junior in high school, they came to my high school and we did a workshop. They do 3-day workshops in high schools all over the world, especially in schools without music programs. My school had a very failing music program, so I did the workshop with my friends, and they gave me a solo on the second day to be performed on the third day for all our friends and family in town. And the first song I ever sang on stage actually was Bridge Over Troubled Water. And singing that with 100 people around me, singing back up and, singing something that you're connected to or friends and family that you're connected to, um, it was a really overwhelming experience. And then actually at the end of the 3-day workshop, the director, his name is Bill Brawley, and actually Bob Dylan's daughter, her name is Desi Dylan, she came up to me and she said, Matt, you should audition for the group. And I said, Desi, there's no way. You guys are some of the most amazing singer dancers I've ever met in my life. There's no way I could do what you guys do. It's my first time ever singing on stage. And she told me, Matt, it's not about whether you can sing or dance, or it's about who you are. We've been watching you the last 3 days in this workshop, and and then if somebody asks you to audition after that, then you should consider the following. That we've seen you, we've watched you, we see how you work with other people, and how you like to get everybody going, and that's exactly what the group needs. And so instead of worrying about what it was that I couldn't do, that was a lightning moment for me that made me realize that I had something to give already. That what I had was good, and that it affected people positively, whether I knew it or not. And as soon as I became aware of it, I could start focusing on that. My singing style. A little bit of rock and roll, a little bit of R&B, gospel. Sometimes, if I'm feeling friendly, I write, Christian music and love songs and stuff like that. I live with a bunch of rappers right now, so we actually do a lot of freestyle rapping. This shit it just happened. It's coming off my dome like I'm chilling at home with my homies, but you don't even know me, so show me a little bit of something coming off the top. Just trying to let you know that I live with rappers apparently. Do I have a boyfriend, girlfriend, and/or spouse? No. Not that I wouldn't like one. Just I'm a hard guy to keep up with, and so it's very seldom that I meet people like me. And when I do, and I ask them to, give up their life and come along with me, usually doesn't work so well because I usually end up falling for people who have quite a lot going for themselves. That's something that I really like personally. Where you meet someone and they're passionate and they have a lot going on and they have a lot to give. That's something that I'm really drawn to. If so, would you think what would they think if they left to go on tour? Anybody who ever is gonna fall in love with me would probably give me a hug and a high five and say, "Congrats, go for it, live your dreams." Um, Tell us when you first sang an audience. I did. I was alright. Got that. Was I nervous? Heck yeah. I'm pretty sure there's a video, and my eyes were closed the whole time. Where do you live? Who with? I live in Nashville. I just moved back from Nashville. I was doing West Side Story in Virginia before that, and then I was doing Oklahoma and Venice, Florida at Venice Little Theater. Um, I live with the band formerly known as Contagious. They were sponsored by Universal Studios. Um, they did one international tour, and now the band is kind of breaking up and going their separate ways, doing different things. Singers, dancers, songwriters, the whole house full. That's why we get along so well. So this is sort of my headquarters where, if you can see behind me, all we have up set up on the wall is just a bunch of big mirrors, and we dance here every day. Where do you live? You with? Any traditions on tour? Oh yeah. Okay. Well, when you're on the Young Americans, a lot of tour traditions go down. Depending on which specific tour, it could be, you're only with that group of friends for so long that eventually they have their own lingo, their own, um, pygmy language, to say the least, you know what I mean? So, like, if you weren't a part of the tour, what was going on, like, you'd be like, what are you talking about? I have no idea. But really, you just gotta be there type of thing. Tour traditions. Okay, would you rather stay in or go out? It depends what's happening inside, and it depends what's happening outside. It's a vague question. I want to be where I'm happiest, and usually that's with a whole lot of really creative, inspiring people. And so if I can put myself in that situation, as much I mean, because I worked on a cruise ship, drinking is like I can't even. Ugh, I'm not a drinker. I wish I was. I wish I was like a social drinker. Totally not. Don't like it. I'm super lightweight. I have like a beer or two, and I'm like, I'm tired. Someone take me to bed. Blah. But like, I could go out and be the party all night long, but I don't need alcohol to be crazy. Just like a little, like, Coca-Cola or something. What should I do when I'm on tour? Out with friends every single night. It's different in Nashville. That is why I love Nashville, and I love being here with all my friends. After running around doing all those musicals, I was like, the only place I want to be in the summer is right here in Nashville with my friends. We dance every single day, day and night, whether it be classes or going out on the town, or a music video, or a random day on set, or choreographing something, or someone's independent personal project, or writing a song, or whatever. We've got drum sets and pianos, and it's what we love to do. But because I've done so many stage musicals and uh, live performances and cruise ships and stuff like that, I've not had the opportunity to be in a studio myself and record the music that I've written place to place to place all over all over the world. Do you travel well with others? I'm probably the easiest guy I ever live with. I'm like super roommate. Everybody's laundry, and Maddie did it. Because if I didn't do it, then I'd just be a bunch of stinky clothes for a bunch of stinky boys, you know what I mean? And you can't bring people over to the house, to the headquarters, when it smells like a locker room. Where do you perform? In general, everywhere. Like life is like a performance. I'm always drawing a crowd somehow, and I love it. I love that about myself, and it's something that I used to have to try to tone down in my military family. Tried to have me tone it down, and I just was always the one that was class clown, or telling jokes, blah 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 blah. So I had to learn to either tone it down or turn it up. So I took it to C, and I turned it up, and I realized that my brand was good, and that people responded well to me, and they liked me, and that was pretty validating that I was in the right career path at least. Where do you perform? I performed in many countries, private islands, on boats, in amphitheaters, in church basements, in coffee shops, in bars, in clubs, you name it. Back of back of a tour bus, pretty much everywhere. What is the craziest thing that is happening on stage? When I was doing the last ship, we were in a show. It's probably the craziest, most embarrassing thing ever. I was doing a scene where it was like a quick costume change, doing one number, running off, changing, coming back on, and I had two props, a guitar and a mic stand, a classic mic with a big heavy mic on the top and a heavy way to stand, and I have to run off with them in the dark, and while I'm running off, the guitar strap breaks off my shoulder, flies out in front of me, and I trip over it, right? And so then I'm face flat on the ground with a mic stand in one hand and a guitar in another stand. And all I hear right as I hit the ground is this huge loud thud, and I hear the whole crowd go, and then there was a blackout for the scene change, so I had to like run off, wipe my face, and my eye was all like watering and stuff, and then my heart was pumping really fast, and throw on my other wig and costume and go out and pretend to be Elvis Presley. So that was like the biggest stage adrenaline rush I've ever had. You know, when something goes a little bit awry, it's like and so it was fun to. That was a fun show. Instead of doing the same show over and over again, it was like this one's exciting and different. Something happened. Do you have fans? I have a lot of friends, a lot of acquaintances, a lot of friends. I don't think I've ever gone the route of establishing anything to have a fan base, but I have a lot of friends and a lot of people that know what I'm up to and what I like to do, and I think if I had something to put out, honestly, I think that kids in Japan and women in the Philippines and Russia and Germany and the UK would freak out. I know people that everywhere that would, like, if I had something to give out, if I had a record or something, they would totally blast it, but we're not there yet. What does your family think of your dreams of being a star? What does my family think of my dream of being a star? As long as it doesn't cost them any money and I don't get in trouble, they could care less. They're like, great, do your thing. But it's struggling. I mean, I wouldn't say struggling, because I've been offered lots of jobs that pay money, and that's not what it's about. It's about being Matty and teaching kids and dancing and singing and performing. And, when I'm good and ready, I'll have to, I can take one of those jobs. But until then, I don't want to give it up now, because if you don't sing and you don't dance for like a year, then you're not really a singer or a dancer anymore. And I just feel like I found it so late in life, like to not even know what being on a stage was until, the Young Americans come and drop it on your doorstep. I was like, I just feel like I had so much like to give that I just needed to know what it was, and then I could do it. And now that I do, it's like eat, sleep, breathe this stuff. Why do you want to be on a show? I think if I had the opportunity and I was given that responsibility to be in the public eye, and I was given, any sort of means of communicating an effort to, reach out to everyone and, spread the word about what music does for people, what it can do, having the social equity to make a difference. I think when you give the right people that responsibility, that real things can happen, real changes, real positive changes for everyone. And I'm trying to think, grand scheme and big picture and stuff like that, and a lot of times I find that even though I'm trying my hardest, something above me happens, and you just kind of have to say, yeah, like, this, you know what I mean? You don't know what it is, but you know that you have to be a part of it, type of thing. Kind of like this. Why do you want to be a country superstar? Oh my gosh, because I'm already here in Nashville. I'm already here. I parked my car on Music Row, and I'm not even in one of the studios to just be like, let me slay an album for you. Let me just slay an album for you really quick. Getting there. Alright, now enter my link. Thanks guys for your time. I really appreciate it. Again, my name is Matty Karsten. Native of Michigan, been just about everywhere, and now I'm back here in Nashville, and I'm looking forward to meeting you.